Hey there YouTube, it's Sarah from Maine Garden Travels, and I'm up at my garden today and I figured I would take you on a little garden tour. I haven't updated in a while and the garden is right full of vegetables, so I'm going to do some harvesting today and I'll take you along with me. It's not the best of days, but it's a perfect day to garden and farm because it is a little bit cooler than it's been and it's overcast, so let's get started. Before we get started, I thought I'd show you what our little farmhouse looks like. We inherited this from my grandparents, who passed it down to my uncle, and when my uncle passed away, he passed it along to my mom. It's approximately 200 years old, and it's on 5 acres of land, and we are, if you haven't heard before, we're in Zone 5B in Raymond, Maine. This is just our summer place. The inside is pretty rough. It needs a lot of work. So we spend some time up here in the summer. And our garden is down that way, and I'll take you down and show you. We plant a little bit of everything here. Right now we're going to be harvesting squash, zucchini and summer squash. Our tomatoes are not yet ready and we're really excited because they're getting pretty big. And here comes Violet. While I'm down here, here's a shot of the inside of our greenhouse. James is watering the pumpkins.
Come on, little pumpkins, grow.
As you can see, they're a little dehydrated. We've actually had a few pumpkins grow and fall off. But our tomatoes down below seem to be doing really well. It's a tomato jungle. Possibly the largest summer squash plant I've ever had. I'm not sure if you can tell on video, but my daughter is 7 and it's almost as tall as her.
I'm not exactly 7.
Almost 7. We recently amended our zucchini with nitrogen, as we found that our nitrogen levels were really low. Also our calcium levels, so we added lime for the nitrogen and Epsom salt for the calcium. And everything seems to be perking back up a little bit.
Mom,
we do still have some end rot growing.
La, la.
Here we have go ahead. Here we have a row of peas, and it looks like we are coming up to the end of their harvest season, and we're going to pull them out and hopefully regrow something, but our season's short, so we don't have too many options between now and our first frost. This is one of my favorite rows at the moment. Just look at that color. Unfortunately, our red or purple cabbage seems to be getting eaten by maybe a chipmunk or probably more likely a groundhog. I've seen them climbing around on our stone wall.
Can you say that we're selling some of our produce? And we're selling.
Just kidding. That wasn't the end of today's zucchini. We're gonna have to sell some of this tomorrow, I think. Right, Violet?
Yeah, and we have to organize the
I absolutely love nasturtium. And in case you didn't know, you can add them to salads and they're super peppery. My kids actually don't like them, but I think they add a little color and a little zest. And then next to the nasturtium are the tomato plants,
I kind of like them too.
which we've started all of these tomatoes from
I like
seed
the orange ones.
in our bedroom at our year-round house, just an hour away.
Oh, the things they've seen.
And then we
La, la.
brought them up here. So look at these tomatoes. They're doing really, really well. Tomatoes always do great here. It's the one thing we have a really easy time with is tomatoes.
Because I go, grow,
Got some Roma tomatoes in there.
We get a lot of them. We put them in a lot of salad. Yum, 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 yum.
Here we have a volunteer tomatillo plant. And every year I plant them, but this one popped up in a random spot with the tomatoes. Unfortunately, they also get eaten by cucumber beetles every year. As you can see, there's one right there. And we go ahead and squish those guys. And we just really try to keep on top of it the best we can. This is an enormous patty pan squash plant. And they're not quite ready yet, but I will show you how cute they are. This is my first time growing them, and I just love the shape. And these guys are yard-long beans, and they have yet to produce any beans. In fact, they're looking a little burned. I think it's because of some of the fertilizer I used the other day. Don't think there's any beans there yet, but we're getting close. This is our potato patch, and we have purple and we have white, and I think that was it. And they are just about ready to be pulled.
I found a pea plant that was wrestling another plant.
A pea plant?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Over
had
there.
some random pea plants pop up here and there too.
They're right here wrestling that plant.
Currently one of my favorite tomatoes in the garden. Just look at that color. They are this beautiful black on top, and then green on the bottom, and I believe they will turn red.
Yay. No,
Sorry for the
middleman.
finger.
I made them.
We struggle with cucumbers up here, and these guys are no different. They are called Market Moore cucumbers, and they are
My
being
middle name is actually Rose, not Rose.
eaten, and they are getting cucumber beetles,
Look at this guy. This
but
guy's
we are getting cucumbers on them. They're just a little slow. I think we'll still get some though. The other end of the garden, and I will show you our awesome Italian cucumber plants.
Mom.
They're climbing a trellis that my husband made, and he found this wheel out in the woods, bike wheel. Would have belonged to probably my mother at one point, and my grandparents used to throw everything out into the woods when they didn't want it at the farm anymore, making their own dump. And then it's on top of a stump and has some strings as the trellis part. And here's a good view of a couple little guys down here. They get really long, and they're doing great. We have this pumpkin growing over here, and my daughter had saved one pumpkin seed last year out of her jack-o'-lantern that rotted, and planted it, and it is doing so well, and I think she's so proud. And there's our first little pumpkin. Don't know what kind it is, but it's got a lot of flowers on it. We'll see how it does. It has had what looks like a little blossom end rot, because this little guy just fell off in my hand when I picked it up. But I'm sure that there's going to be enough, so we don't have to worry too much about that. So we've seen so many videos on the internet and on YouTube about red wiggler compost bins, little worm composting. And so we have done our own in a set of drawers. And what we did was we just ordered some worms, and then open the drawer here. We fill it with different things. There's soil in there. Take this out for a minute.
Can't see the worms.
There's a couple little wigglers right here. And as you can see, the excrement that the worms are creating is just very rich. And this year, because there's not very much, I'm going to just spread it around the base of the plant, but I think we'll go bigger next year. So we've put cardboard in there. This cardboard seems to be hard to break down. It's rather large.
We could try and break it down now. Let's
Some
break it.
grass and hay. And the worms seem to be happy. I water it every now and then. It's my adorable greenhouse that my husband built for us. I absolutely love it. It's made with, as you can tell, old windows, mostly from 1800 and 1900s homes that were being renovated, and we bought some, and we got some for free. And then we got a polyplastic roof. We used to have regular plastic like tarp, and we took that off because it was blowing in the wind, and this works so much better. In the greenhouse we do have an aquaponic flood tray, and in a separate video I can show you how it works in case you're interested in getting your own. But we have cucumbers in here, a few seedlings started. My orange tree that wasn't doing all that great, but now it seems to be perking right up. Figs, I think they need a little bit more water.
Those ones right there.
And some watermelons, which are coming along. You can't grow watermelons easily here in Maine. We're in zone 5B, as I said, and it's a little too chilly, and the season's too short. But in the greenhouse, they're doing well.
Hi. So, as is obvious, our tomato plants are kind of caving in. They were doing fine growing up, but they kind of hit a critical mass, and everybody fell over. We didn't buy hoops for them because after a while, shelling out $12 or $7.95 for a whole bunch of them, so we just kind of ran out of them. So this is one of the ones that didn't get one. But what we use are these things called tomato clips or plant clips, vine clips. And the really neat thing about these is when they fold over, they clamp onto the vines so they don't move, and then that, you notice how that just clipped, it just clips right around the vine. And then you can unclip them, which is pretty cool, and slide it and re-clip it. So I love these things, and that bag cost me $7. So that was, I'm sure, oh, sweetie. Oh, the shame.
Yeah, these poor guys should have been pruned a little bit better.
But they're very healthy, and they have a lot of tomatoes on them, so we're going to try to restore them to their original splendor. What I need to do is I need to get a line, a piece of twine in here with this plant that I allowed to fall over, and I'm gently trying to extricate it from everybody else. We'll toughen them up. Bust anybody! Up, buddy, up. Alright, so I think I've got him. Oh, no, that wasn't good. Alright, so, but in any case, what I'm going to do, see how that
Dough.
And clip, and we're good. Here's one.
And so the clip keeps the plant from actually being pinched.
Right.
It's just the line that's there.
Yeah. So here comes the next guy. Hopefully I'll be a little more successful. I wonder if that would survive if I clipped him up. What do you think?
Probably.
Probably?
Still attached.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for further episodes. We'll see if this guy really makes it or not.
Finally, I have some volunteer sunflowers behind me. And these guys I planted last year, and they never came up. And now this year, we are just about equal in height now, and they're stronger than ever. So, doing great. So I'm going to end the video here, and I will see you next time. If you'd like, I could do a tour of the greenhouse, or exactly how my husband made it, or a tour of the farmhouse, which is kind of fun, kind of haunted. Yeah. And anyhow, keep growing, and I am going to hop on the mower, I think, and get to the mowing. See ya. Have a good one.